Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for the August 2nd Mindfulness and Meditation class. Lauren Masse is dedicated and committed to supporting others in their mental and physical wellness journeys. She studied psychology and public health at UMass Amherst and has a master's of public health from Boston University. She is a certified holistic health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. She founded Mindful Minis Boston in 2018, also the founder of Bright Heart Coaching, and she offers mindfulness classes and private coaching. And I, again, for the record, want to thank the Friends of the Library, as well as the Chelmsford Library and the Memorial Hall Library in Andover. So all 60 of us who are watching live and the many more that will watch the recording, let's give a big virtual round of applause to Lauren for joining us today. And Lauren, you can take it away. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that introduction. I love the energy. All right, let's go ahead and pin my screen. All right, wonderful. So hello and welcome everyone. I am so glad that you are here today. I'm so happy that you were able to carve out some time for yourself to just be and to also learn something new potentially that could help bring more ease and reduce stress in your life. So today's session is going to be all about mindfulness, what it is. We're really going to dive into the what, where, when, and how of mindfulness so we can turn it into a daily practice of ours. And then we're also going to have a meditation towards the second half of this 30-minute time slot to help us practice meditation actively and find some ease and stress relief for the day. So hello to everyone who is here, new or returning, and hello to everyone who put hellos in the chat as Robert was speaking. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm really just going to be chatting about mindfulness and talking with you in the chat. But to start out, I would love for you to just get a comfortable place to sit and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Taking a second to land here in this moment. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to be doing besides just being a human being in this moment right now. So often we go throughout our day feeling like humans doing instead of human beings. So just taking a moment to tap into the parts of your body that are contacting the surface that you're sitting on. Maybe notice your feet on the floor to just bring in some present moment awareness. And just take one big deep breath in and out with me. And let it go. All right. So just kind of a centering and grounding exercise to help us transition from whatever we were doing before right now to this moment. So let's learn a little bit more about mindfulness. Let's start out with learning about the definition of mindfulness. So Jon Kabat-Zinn, who is someone who is kind of known to be like the founder of mindfulness as far as bringing mindfulness to America. He's just really well known in the space, and he created something called mindfulness-based stress reduction. He defines mindfulness as mindfulness is the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So it's a really long definition. There's a lot of parts there, right? So let's break that down. Mindfulness is awareness Okay, so we're being fully aware because we're choosing to pay attention in this moment on purpose. So, mindfulness is awareness in this present moment, non judgmentally. There's this quality of acceptance and neutrality to what you are witnessing. I typically teach mindfulness from an angle of using it as a self awareness and self management tool. So, as a self management tool, I like to think of mindfulness as non judgmental awareness. Just keep it simple. Non judgmental awareness. You are a neutral observer to what you are witnessing. You can choose to be mindful, choose to be aware of your inner world and your outer world. And by being more present and aware, you experience all the benefits that mindfulness has to offer. You are suffering less in the mind because we're not getting caught up in the future and caught up in the past. We're coming back to our bodies in this moment and regulating ourselves. We are also bringing more acceptance to what is happening and suffering less because we're rejecting the present moment less. The more present you are, the more you can have a greater perspective on situations. You can have more empathy, gratitude, compassion, self awareness, and you can get more juice out of the squeeze of life. You can be present to witness the beauty that is around you that you may have missed if you were living in your mind or distracted with your phone. You can get more out of the interactions that you have in your life because you're with this person. Again, you're not in your mind or being distracted on your phone. So I wonder, let's go over to the chat. What do you think that you can be aware of and non judgmental about in your inner world? What do you think that means? In your inner world, what do you think you can be aware of? Just some guesses we can throw in the chat. Anyone have a guess? Okay. So I'm seeing in the chat, we can be aware of our breath. Yes, absolutely. We can be aware of our heartbeat. Yes. We can be aware of our feelings, volume. Maybe Beatrice is talking about sound or something like that. Situational awareness. You can be aware of your feet on the floor, calmness, joy, emotions. Yeah. So we are speaking of a lot of things that we can be aware of our internal environment, our inner world. It typically involves being aware of our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, and our physical sensations. And we describe that in the chat. Now, next, what can we be aware of in our external environment? Let us know in the chat. Externally, outside of you, what can you be aware of? The list is long with this. Trees. Yes, we can be aware of trees. Sounds. What you can sense. Yep. Potential danger, sounds, the fan, the wind, birds, other people. Very good. So anything that you can experience with your senses is what you can be mindful of. The people, the places, the things, the situations, anything that we're taking in with our senses. So we all know these examples of not being present as well. So what does not being mindful look like? What are some examples of that? What does that look like? The opposite of mindfulness. So I'll give you some examples to start out. You know, when you're driving in your car and then eventually you just get home and you don't remember the car ride? Or you're washing the dishes, but you're actually living in your mind. You're not really washing the dishes. Or maybe you are showering and you're like living in your head, thinking about everything else other than the shampoo. So in the chat, I'm seeing telling someone who is speaking with you, oh, I have to take this call. So you're maybe living in a distracted mentality, worrying about the future, too much busyness, disconnection from reality, doing one thing and thinking about another thing. Great examples. Awesome. So, where and when can we be non-judgmentally aware and more present in the moment? Anytime, any place, wherever you are, there's really nothing you need to achieve mindfulness besides yourself. We can practice mindfulness as a tool proactively or reactively. Proactively looks like doing some mindfulness at the beginning of your day before you are stressed. Reactive, using mindfulness as a tool, is something happens, you become dysregulated, and now you're using it to calm yourself down. So you can do proactive or reactive. Now, how do we practice mindfulness? Well, we can, if you would like to bring more mindfulness and presence into your life, there's two categories of things that you can do. You can do informal mindfulness or formal mindfulness. Formal mindfulness is what we're doing here in a meditation. Formal mindfulness looks like seated meditation, movement meditation, mantra meditation, spiritual meditation. It also looks like taking a moment to breathe. It also looks like tapping into your five senses to take in, like to ground you in this present moment right now. There's also something called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tool, which is a grounding and centering exercise using your senses, where you identify 5 things that you see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, and 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So I'd invite you to try this tool with me here and now. As you're beginning to do a mindfulness exercise, you can first kind of just come back to your body. Notice yourself pressing into whatever you are sitting on. Notice your feet on the floor. Notice your breath. And relax your shoulders. I want you to look around you and point out 5 things, either in your mind or saying them out loud. And you don't have to put it in the chat. This is just for you. 5 things you see. Good. Now, 4 things that you can feel, like your sleeves, a pen you might be holding. So 4 things. Now, 3 things that you can hear. Now, 2 things that you can smell. And maybe you can't really smell anything besides the air, but asking yourself that question helps you focus. And then lastly, 1 thing you can taste, if you can taste anything. Very good. One big deep breath in and out. Let it go. So that is a type of formal mindfulness practice. You are choosing to do this thing, choosing to use this tool. Other formal mindfulness practices look like yoga or a walking meditation. Looks like mindful coloring. Lots of different things. Is there anything, does anyone want to put in the chat one of their favorite mindfulness formal practices that they like to do? Let us know, and I'll share with it when we collect some answers. Share with you guys when we collect some answers. Now, getting into informal mindfulness practice. Informal mindfulness practice just looks like being more present in your everyday activities. That is a conscious choice to be more here, now, in this moment, rather than getting swept away and distracted. I get swept away and distracted in my mind. That's how I got to mindfulness in the first place. I needed it as a tool to help stress and anxiety. So, informal mindfulness, it looks like choosing one activity that you do every day without thinking about it, and you do this activity using all of your senses. You are present. If you are washing the dishes, wash the dishes. Feel the sponge, smell the soap, feel the dish in your hand. Listen, use your senses. Now, as you are practicing informal mindfulness, you will notice that thoughts are coming up, feelings are coming up, noticing physical sensations like maybe your back hurts or something like that. There's room for all of this as well, because it's non-judgmental awareness of what simply is. That is a thought. That is a feeling. That's okay. It's okay that I'm thinking this. It's okay that I am feeling this way, physically and mentally. And you can choose in that moment to focus on the dishes. Not in a way that is pushing thoughts or feelings away, but almost as gentle as if you were tapping a feather to a bubble. Notice it. It's okay to feel that way. Keep focusing on the dishes as well. So I would like for you, if you'd like to bring more mindfulness into your day, to choose an activity that you would like to be fully present for. So go ahead and put in the chat, what do you think is that one thing that you'd like to be present for? I chose brushing my teeth at first. Maybe it's your morning cup of coffee. Maybe it is the amount of time that your dog gets let out in the morning and then comes back in. Maybe it is in your morning walk, this stop sign to this stop sign. I'm feeling every step. I'm breathing. I'm opening my eyes. I'm smelling. I'm listening. So, as far as some of our favorite formal practices, I am looking at metta. I'm looking at making a cup of tea, scribbling, walking meditation and yoga, Tai Chi. These are everyone's favorites. Yoga, walking and observing birds, noticing the flowers planted in my neighborhood, laughter yoga. Love that. Going for a walk and looking at the flowers, saying the same thing over and over again, like all I have to do is breathe. Okay, so a mantra. And then I also see when I kayak at a local pond, I try to set some time to just float and focus on the water and the waves. And if any birds are in the sky, about 15 minutes or so, just drift and listen. That's great. We can bring that drift and listen to so many aspects of our life. So I love that. Sometimes when I'm outside and I'm choosing to be here now, I'll notice I'll notice like a cardinal or something like that. And I realized in that moment, if I was looking down at my phone, which is sometimes how I pass time, if I was looking down at my phone, I wouldn't have seen that. So it's really interesting. Okay, taking time to truly enjoy my entire cup of coffee before jumping on the computer. You deserve that. You deserve to be present as much as possible, to enjoy your life and to feel more like in control of this moment. And that feels really good. So I think the answers for informal mindfulness activities are coming through. Try to focus on feeding my cats every day, smelling the flowers. Sadly, so many do not have a smell, but so present when there is a scent, maybe pre-scent. I like that. And then Joy is saying, seeing rabbits playing. Very good. Awesome. So we can practice mindfulness, just being more present in the moment informally, and we can be present formally by sitting down to breathe and do something. So that's what we will do right now. We will do a combination of two different type of mindfulness practices called awareness of breath and body scan. So I can guide you through that. It's what I'm sure if you are a returning meditator here in this class, you've done this before with me, and it'll help us just relax and be present. So get a comfortable place to sit. If you don't already, just readjust. You could be seated, you could be in a chair, you could be lying down, whatever you wish. Allow your arms to rest, maybe on your side or on your lap. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow a wave of awareness and presence kind of wash over you. And you can shut down your eyes if you'd like to kind of block out one of the senses and come more internal. Or you can just lower your gaze towards the floor to soften the muscles around your eyes. Now, as we close our eyes, even closing our eyes begins to make us feel like it's time to relax. And we can begin to become aware of the way that we're breathing normally. We don't have to fix or change anything. And what we'll do is our breath will be the point of focus today. And we're going to concentrate on the breath by following the flow of the inhale through the nose and the exhale through the nose or the mouth, whatever you wish. Typically, I say through the mouth. So as you breathe, you can follow the flow of air in through the nose, down the throat, expanding your lungs, being present with your rib cage expanding on all sides, filling up with air, and then following the flow of the out breath as your belly and your chest fall. The air then comes back up the throat, out the mouth, slowly. Inhaling, noticing that point at the top of the inhale and how it switches to the exhale. Noticing that point at the bottom of the exhale and how it switches to the inhale. Noticing any temperature of the air as you breathe in. And if the temperature of the air that you breathe out has changed. You're allowing yourself to just be and breathe. And when you notice that your mind has traveled away from you, that's okay. That's normal. Notice it gently and bring it back to just focusing on breathing. We're training our mind to come back to the present moment. You can pay attention to the breath by noticing the physical expansion and contraction in our stomach as we breathe. You can even place a hand on your heart space and a hand on your belly to be with your breath a little bit more. Just as a witness of yourself being alive. Now, we can relax our shoulders and our arms once again, placing our hands back to wherever they'll rest. And we can begin with a body scan in which we will scan our body from our head to our toes, just becoming aware or maybe even inviting to relax the major muscle groups of our body. Bringing all of your awareness to the top of your head. And allow that awareness, just like a calming presence, to wash down your scalp, and then around to the front of your face. Allowing the muscles around your eyes, your forehead, and your jaw to soften and relax. As we become aware of the body, we may notice that we'd like to take a few deep breaths. So that's why throughout the body scan, I'll say inhale and exhale. So you can go ahead and inhale through the nose and good exhale like a sigh out. Kind of deflating that pressure in the body. The awareness comes from our face, then down to our neck, around the back, the sides, and the front. You can move and angle your chin in whichever way you'd like to have the neck be relaxed. And bring your awareness also to your shoulders, allowing this quality and feeling of melting honey. Now bringing awareness to our arms, elbows, wrists, hands. And working our awareness up our arms to our shoulders once again. In a cascade of peace down our back. Awareness goes from our back to our muscles of our chest, and then to our stomach. And take a deep breath in and let it out. Awareness goes over our hips, down our legs, knees, calves. Awareness goes to our shins, our ankles, and tops of our feet, each one of our toes, and then to the bottoms of our feet. And we can invite each one of our muscles once again to just sink deeper into the surface that we're sitting on. Deep breath in through the nose and let it out. Very good. You can bring a little bit of movement to your fingers and toes to wake your body up a little bit. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly blink open your eyes. Okay. So I would love to know how everyone is feeling. Just as a note in the time, it is 12:34. Sometimes when we're talking about mindfulness and time just flies. So if you do have to hop off the call, no problem at all. But we're going to hang out for just a couple more minutes and reflect on that experience. And if anyone has questions, you can feel free to let me know. That body scan was a bit more abbreviated because I saw the time. In these sessions, we dive a little bit deeper into it. It can get a little more relaxing than just placing your awareness. But this awareness of breath and awareness of body can help you come home to yourself, come home to your body. And that's really nice. So let's see, I'm seeing in the chat, that was lovely, wonderful meditation, relaxed and calm. Very good. Feels like I'm floating. Wonderful. Calm and relaxed all around. Very good. Yeah. Sometimes you may notice that you fall asleep or you're getting really sleepy, and that's okay. When we become aware of our body, we may notice how tired we are, and allowing ourselves to slow down can maybe make us fall asleep sometimes. And if you want to not do that, like if you want to do that, good, great. If you want to relax and then fall asleep, great. If you want to remain more alert during the experience, you can just hold a different posture, maybe like not leaning back into the chair, maybe like scooting forward, or maybe not laying down, and having a more like upright posture can prevent you from falling asleep, just in case that happens to anyone. Just what I needed. Good. Yeah. Yawning a lot. All right. Very, very good. I'm glad that we hopefully benefited from this. I know that those in the chat did. Next week, so this is a 3-week series. We've got this week, next week, which is the 9th, and the week after that, which is the 16th. Next week, we have a loving kindness meditation, which is a type of meditation that we will practice. And it's called loving kindness and letting go. So that's kind of the theme for the week. It's going to be a bit of visualization, a bit of mantra meditation, and a bit of loving kindness. You'll see what I mean in that, a little bit of breathing as well. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for staying late. I appreciate it. We always like to just take the time that we need here to complete the session and feel completed. So thank you for staying and thank you for being here. I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and take care, everyone. Bye now.